Yo, it's your boy Marcus Morrison back with a video. Today we're going to be talking about some DMZ strategies, and this is the first one of this series. I'm just going to be starting out with a bunch of strats that I have for DMZ and how to play it in different ways so that you can be successful and grind through this easier, right? I just hit top 5K. This, I believe, was the game that I did it in, so I'm now top 5K in DMZ. I intend to hold that for the rest of this season, which is another like 2 or 3 months. I don't think the season ends till November, which is absurd for DMZ, but it is what it is. My strategy here in this gameplay, I don't execute it as well. Actually, I executed it all right. The main goal is to get off the map as soon as possible. Now, once you hit 9,000 points, I think, is their number. So when you hit 9,000 points, I think that's also, you need like 9,060 to get to top 5K right now. Once you hit 9,000, you literally get no points for every game. So I'll go through that at the end of the video in more detail, but when you're at like 8,000 and you just hit legendary, you'll still get about 20 to 25 points per game if you come out with like 5 million in loot. And however much you do in terms of contracts and money earned, and then you get like maybe 1 kill or no kills. Let's just say you get no kills, you'll still come out with an extraction score and your economy score and your contract score, and you'll come out to about 20 points, right? So that's good. 20-25 points, that's good. Obviously, if you have more money, you'll get more points. If you get a few kills, you'll have more points. But that's like a basic game, right? People basically do that. Now, that is great up until you hit, not legendary, but 9K points. Once you hit 9K points, for that quality of game, you're only going to get about 9 points. You might not even get 10. So that's terrible, because that quality of game, in order to get to $5 million, you're going to have to be on the map for like 12 minutes, give or take, right? You're going to have to be out there for a while because you're going to have to do a bunch of contracts. I prefer get materials because you can get ultras and mythics like that from pretty crazy ultra and mythic drop rate from those. So that being said, I think that's a great strategy, right? I've covered that before in one of my earlier DMZ videos. However, this one, I think once you hit 9K, this is the better way to do it. Basically, you just spawn in, right? And once you spawn in, go to the other side of the map and exfil. Along the way, pick up whatever you can grab, whatever's just, if you're running through buildings, just grab whatever you see. Doesn't matter what rarity it is. Doesn't matter if it's blue, purple, orange, red. If you get lucky, you get some mythics. But, if you just come out with a couple legendaries, a couple rares, and a couple, a bunch of epics, right? And that's what you come out with, then that's totally fine, because you're going to be off the map it takes to run across the map. It takes about 3 minutes and some change, maybe 4 minutes. 4 minutes and some change, I think, right? To run all the way across the map from Serpent Town to Korahana Base in this scenario, right? So you can do that very quickly. As soon as you get there, hit the exfil chopper. While you're waiting on that, you can shoot like a sensor dart down so you can see if anybody's near you, because if anybody's near you, this strategy is mute. You got to run away, or you can fight them, whatever one you want to do. I prefer to run away, because if I fight them and I die, then I lose like 25 points, which is absurd. It's not like you lose like 9 points. You lose 25 points. So once you hit top 9K, you get no points for winning and like doing well, and you lose a ton of points if you do lose. So that's terrible, and that's just how it is. I think that's honestly fine, but it changes up how you look at the game. And for me, I look at it as I need to exfil every time. I don't want to lose the game, right? I don't want to die. Dying at this point is just, it will take me 3 games to make up the points that I'm going to lose in that one. So you can't do it. It's just not feasible to try to grind for top 5K and be dying all the time. That's why I don't really play Rebirth Island or Building 21. Because in order to exfil, I think on Building 21, in order to exfil, you pretty much everybody has to be dead on the map. And I feel like with Rebirth, it can kind of be the same way sometimes. So this is a very avoidant strategy, right? You're not going to be running into other teams, trying to squad wipe them. If you have to fight, you have to fight. But for the most part, you're going to be avoiding them. And I do this strategy like crazy when I solo queue into trios. Now, One other thing that's a part of this strategy that people aren't going to like, but it is what it is. The get materials contracts, when you play in trios, you get 3 boxes and then 2 more boxes after that. So that's a lot of potential loot you can do. If you just do one of them, you'll probably fill up half your inventory if you have an ultra backpack. And if you have an ultra backpack and you only pick up legendaries from those 5 boxes, you'll fill up half your inventory. If you have a mythic backpack, you'll probably fill up your whole inventory. And maybe like a little bit left over. In which case you could just grab the purples that are in there too and then next fill, right? So it only takes one contract and you pretty much got everything you need. Yeah. So with that being said, getting off the map as soon as possible. The bad part about this strategy is your teammates. When you're playing it in trios, I don't want to get into gunfights with people, right? I don't have Ultra Fennec. That's what everybody uses. All of my deaths this season are to the same gun. I don't have one, okay? I don't have it. So if you don't have it, I wouldn't take a gunfight against somebody that does have it because the range is insane. I guess it's hit scan. It has pretty much no recoil at this point, and it shoots insanely fast. It's broken. So from what I've noticed, avoid those people. Do not get into gunfights with those people if you don't have a gun that can compete with them at medium range. I mean, long range you're fine, right, with type 19 or whatever, but at medium range, no. Short range, absolutely not. That being said, that's kind of what I've learned about this strategy, right? Getting off the map quick. And if you're off the map in 5 minutes and you keep doing that, dude, you'll be able to complete at least 2 games and be halfway through your third in the time it takes for you to complete 1 game. Even though you get more money from that game, you're not necessarily getting more points because of the way the points are valued in terms of ranking up. Here we'll look at it and it says that I got 6 points right there. 6. That's honestly fine. That's not a lot. It's actually terrible. But had I stayed in that game and got a bunch of loot, I would have only gotten like 9, 10. Did a bunch of contracts. The contracts, once you hit 9,000 points, you have to do a ton of them to actually get rewarded for that, which is not good because you can only do but so much, right? You can't always count on your random teammates to be into contracts too. They're always going after safes. Randoms love to go after the safes, die at the safes, and then complain about you not saving them at the safes. I'm not going to the safes, right? With this strategy, avoid the safes at all costs. There's no point in going there. It's a death trap. Unless you spawn really close to one, right? If you get a close spawn to a safe, obviously you can hit that one up and be all right and not, in danger. Right. But for the way the meta is now, this is a great strategy for people who, maybe you lag a lot when you play DMZ or you're not a good player. Right. Or, you're just looking for another way to kind of enjoy the game. This is another strategy that you can use and employ to have success. Right. You don't have to be at 9K points to do this. You can do this when you're a master. You can do this at rookie. Right. And it will definitely help you. Yeah, I really suggest this for worse players or people who play on like worse conditions, worst phone, whatever the case might be. Here, I'm going to compare this. So when I hit 9K points, I believe it was, I had this last game, I think this one right here, where I got 22 rank XP, right? And then the following game, I believe I got 6, right? Now, I didn't have as good of a game, but that's not the point. The point is the drop off in score is so steep that you have to kind of change what you're doing because you're not going to be able to get the points for the amount of time that you spend. I have heard people say that if you spend more time on the map and you exfil as late as possible, you get more points for that. I don't know how true that is, but if that is the case, that does help maybe make it better. So kind of, take that with a grain of salt if that is the case. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this strategy, how you think it would work for you, if you think it's kind of a stupid strategy, whatever the case might be. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications if you want to. It's been your boy Marcus Morstini. I'm out of here. Peace.